Hello, I'm Shahriyar Mehdi, and today I'm going to tell you a few words in English that has a relationship with the word hold. Because in the previous lecture, we have studied the relationship between emotional stability and perception that gave us the understanding of the word hold or grasp or conquer, because you conquer or grasp things to understand, to improve your perception. This is what I mean. Now in this lecture we are going to see why do you want to capture somebody, or you want to enslave somebody, or to hold somebody? Obviously to improve your perception. This is we know. But today in this lecture we are going to say how. In this lecture we are going to address how. किस तरह, how we are going to hold or enthrall somebody or enslave somebody or capture or captivate or whatever, any synonym you choose. So the first word that comes to my mind is called provocation. By provocation, you can captivate somebody so that you can understand him better in order to understand your perception. See? Now, coming back, let's explore the words, the synonyms for provocation. How the word provocate is used in English in several different contexts. What are those words? Provoke means stimulate. Stimulate means rouse. Rouse means arouse. And when arouse comes to my mind, there is a very soothing word that comes to my mind. That is called inspire, induce, incite, ignite, kindle, impel, galvanize. What else? Spur, very important. Spur, uksana, stir up with anger, to charge somebody. Bristle, ferment, posture. Bristle, ferment, posture, elate, actuate. Prod, urge. Now link a relationship with stimulus, okay? Because if we go further, we have a high level words, high frequency words in English for addressing such kind of stimulation that provoke somebody to pay attention. Okay? What are synonyms for the word stimulating? And that is interesting. And when something is interesting, it is charmingly lively. So here comes the word charm, which has a relationship with fascination that we have investigated earlier in the previous lecture. Because if a person has an ability to charm somebody, we can call him or her a charmingly lively person. And when liveliness comes to our mind, it brings willingness to come to our mind. Because if a person is willing to respond, he is a lively person. And the willingful become cheerful. Like if a willingness goes to the higher level. This is what I want to say. If the willingness becomes cheerful, like hopeful willingness, that gives a meaning of cheerful eagerness. And if something is cheerfully eager to respond, there's a word in English that is called alacrity, felicity, eagerness, respond, swiftness, quickness. So Willingness, if it is cheerful, then it is there is a hope in it. And if there is a hope, that feeling is called light-hearted. Okay? And for that light-heartedness, there is a high frequency word in English that is called buoyancy. Buoyancy means hopeful, willingness. Hopeful, willingness. One last thing which is very important to bring into your kind consideration, and that is, do not misunderstood provocation with vulgarity. People in Pakistan misunderstands the concept of provocation. It is not a negative thing. It doesn't have a negative connotation. Provocation is amazing. Provocation, if it is done with an intelligence, it is an amazing. But if there is no intelligence and there is provocation, then that is called vulgarity. And there are high level frequency words in English for vulgarity, and that is called scurrilous, meretricious, scabrous. Addressing the antonyms of willingness, because we have studied the synonyms for willingness. Now we are going to see, if there is no willingness, then how that contradiction or that resistance is addressed in English. What are the words for unwillingness? So, one unwillingness implies reluctance. If somebody is reluctant to do something, it implies the meaning of unwillingness. Or if the person is hesitant, is a restrictive, or he is restrictive in doing something, it implies the same meaning of unwillingness. Going forward, going to a high level for high frequency list, we find a word that is called disinclination. If a person is not inclined towards anything, it means he is disinclined. And that is disinclination towards anything gives a implicit meaning of unwillingness. And that kind of unwillingness also signifies the attitude of indifference in him, because he is indifferent to things around him. That shows unwillingness, his unwillingness to pay even his attention. And for that kind of difference, there is a high frequency word in English, and that is called apathy, lack of interest. Thank you very much.